Yeah, yeah. Good day and God bless. You are now rocking with the best, your man, Ro Parrish. As my OG loves to say, be brief, brother. Catlin Clark, if she's not already, she's becoming one of the most polarizing figures in sports. Now, Catlin Clark should have been added on the women's basketball team for Team USA to make the Olympics. Now, women's basketball has been clamoring for decades for a savior to draw attention to the game. She arrives, and this is how you treat her. You know, sometimes this game can't get out of its own way. Again, a polarizing figure. Everybody has an opinion. Some support, some don't. I'm really indifferent. Now, I'm not a Caitlin Clark fan. I've actually, for the most part, when she plays, I'm rooting for the team that she's competing against, whether it be South Carolina, UConn. So let's just put that out there, keep it a buck. However, I do respect her accomplishments and her talent, and I understand the value that she's brought to the women's game. Team USA, they missed the mark on not adding Clark to the team. Now, I love women's basketball. I actually got my start in media because of it. Shouts out to J. Lee Mitchell. Women's hoops, I love it. College, WNBA, I've been watching for years, partially because of my previous place of employment, but also because I'm a fan of fundamentally sound hoops, but that's not what's important. Back to the topic. You can say Caitlin Clark hasn't earned it. She isn't ready. Was Christian Laettner ready in 1992? He was still on the team. Okay. The rules were different then. It was required to have one collegiate athlete. What about Braun, D. Wade, and Melo in '04? They didn't play much, but they were still on the roster. Anthony Davis in 2012. Not every player on the roster is going to have an expansive role. But we know when you have a player that has a certain amount of greatness and popularity and promise, you add them to the roster, like D. Wade, Braun, and Melo. Anyway, I already went over that. Oh, and by the way, I also feel Arike Gumbawale was snubbed. She was definitely worthy. Love Diana Taurasi. However, she's seen 5 Olympics prior to the one that's about to come up. Now, is a 6th trip necessary? I mean, Candace Parker wasn't given half of those opportunities with Team USA, and she's on the women's Mount Rushmore right with Diana Taurasi. Just saying. Back to Caitlin Clark. Yes, she's polarizing and popular, but she can also play. Women's basketball overall, not just the WNBA, but overall, could use the additional exposure, even if she was using a limited role. Let's just put it like this. I've been working in TV for over 2 decades. NBC would most likely prioritize coverage with her presence, more player profiles, not on just Caitlin Clark, but on the rest of the players of the team, primetime TV slots. And at that moment, the casual fan is exposed not only to Caitlin Clark, but the other high-level talent on the team. Just saying, come on, let's keep it a buck. A lot of women's players were upset because Caitlin Clark's getting the attention and they think that they deserve this and that. Well, if you add her on the team, you're going to get that additional exposure that she's already created because the casual fan's going to want to watch. Doing that, you create new fans of women's basketball. They discover other players. It's no different than the Dream Team back in 1992 when they were on the scene in Barcelona. Now, no, Caitlin Clark is not a game changer like Magic, Bird, and Barkley or MJ on the floor yet, but her impact on her professional league in 2024 has been felt and is arguably just as important as any of those players in 1992. Clark has also showed the humility. Anytime she speaks, she respects the game. Now, she doesn't whine when things don't go her way or she gets cheap shotted. She just keeps it a buck. And I respect that. This is a missed opportunity. Again, not a huge Caitlin Clark fan, but I understand the value that she brings to the women's game. And this isn't even a race thing. So many comments. I made comments on social media, and people that looked like me were irate. They was big mad. People that didn't look like me, they saw it a different way. This isn't even about race. This is about a player that is transcending the game, adding eyeballs to it, and that is the whole point. Grow the women's game. As Charles Barkley said, you ladies are petty. Stop being petty. You ladies are petty. And we've seen that, the way they're going after Catlin Clark. I get it. Go after her on the floor. Make her earn it on the floor. But talking reckless about it, I mean, that ain't going to do nothing. She's helped the game. So, Catlin Clark showed that humility. She respects the game, doesn't whine. And just think about it like this. If you add her to this roster, all the older WNBA vets who have something to say, they get a chance, they get an opportunity to know her, maybe bridge the gap, put her on game, and also give her the chance to earn that respect. Just saying. Again, Team USA missed the mark. They should have added Catlin Clark on the roster. Even if she doesn't play in a limited role, the eyeballs, growing the game is the ultimate goal. And you ladies, stop being petty. Stop being petty. Catlin Clark is ultimately great for the game of women's college basketball, for women's pro basketball, for any level of women's basketball, because she brings the attention. And there's so many great ballers out there, they need that. All right, I went a bit long today. But as my OG says, be brief, brother. That's all I got. Love, respect, salute.